Hello viewers, welcome to Daily Politics. On this program we discuss issues around politics, policy and governance. I am Shafiu Suleiman. As the Israeli airstrikes continue to hit Gaza and other targets in the Palestinian conflicts, of course mounting humanitarian crisis is also one of the features of the now getting to 1 week conflict, if you like, or engagement, war between the Hamas and of course the Israeli forces. This crisis has generated a lot of global concerns considering the number of casualties that is still rising. So far, about 3,000 people were said to have been killed on both sides, and several others displaced. We'll be engaging one of the key figures in this conflict, now talking about the Palestinian ambassador to Nigeria, Abdullah Shawish. He will be giving us an update with regards to this round of violence between Hamas and of course the Israeli forces. We'll also be looking at some of the current interventions, if you like, or the global interventions, either to end the hostility or to provide certain relief to the now traumatized residents, if you like, or people in the Gaza Strip and other areas that have been affected by this conflict. But before we commence the conversation, we will take a short break. When we return, the discussion continues. Stay with us. Thank you very much for staying with us on Daily Politics. And today we're looking at a situation update on the Israeli-Palestine conflict. We have in the studio the Palestinian ambassador to Nigeria, Abdullah Shawish. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Right. Well, as we speak, the airstrikes continue to hit targets across some of the key front lines, Gaza in particular. Gaza is under siege by the Israeli forces. There has been complete shutdown, if you like, of electricity, water, and all of that. Can you tell us the situation right now at the front line?
Again, thank you so much, of course, for having me tonight. Indeed, before I start reacting to your question, I would like to, because I carefully listening to your introduction, which is very important, of course, but there is something to be corrected. Wording have a meaning. All the time we should be, as a Palestinian at least, we should be taking care of every single word mentioned. You mentioned that this is a war between Hamas and Israel, which is completely not true. This is an open war that started 75 years ago between Israel and the whole entire Palestinian society. This is not a war between Hamas.
I'm talking about the recent one.
No,
now.
Even the recent one.
It was as a result of rocket strike, rocket
even
launch
the recent one.
by Hamas into Israel.
Even the recent one. It's an open war from the Israeli side against the whole entire Palestinian people in West Bank, in Gaza, and East Jerusalem. Just till today, the death toll in West Bank reached more than, since the beginning of this year, exceeded the 220 Palestinian. Among of them is children. Muhammad Tamimi, 2.5 years old. He was assassinated. This is the open war. But again, so that we as a Palestinian should be very careful to correct the narrative that is spread around the world. This is an open Israeli war against the Palestinian people. If it is with some specific group, and why you are shut down the whole entire Gaza, why you are denying their people right, those people right, basic right of water, of sanitation, of electricity, of medical supply, and all of this stuff. You, as an Israeli side, the Israeli side already declared, officially declared on the Minister of War, or the Minister of the Israeli Minister, Gallant, the Israeli Minister of Defense or War, if you would like to so to speak. He mentioned we are standing against or fighting human elements. This means that he considering the 2.2 million who is completely siege in Gaza as a human animals. This is the point. So
that's
it is a war against the Palestinian people. It is not a new war. It was erupted since more than 75 years when they completely uprooted us, when they completely or ethnically cleansed the majority of the Palestinian people from their homeland. This is the issue.
Okay, the reason why, I mean, it's good that we clarify, but the Israeli government is saying that out of this number, a total of 2,600 lives were lost on both sides. Now, in Gaza alone, you have 1,417 people killed, according to authorities, the Palestinian authorities. Now, but what Israel is saying is that more than half, if you like, or up to half, hundreds of those killed were actually Hamas fighters. What would we say? How true is that claim?
Absolutely. But let me just again correct the number. This is what we till this moment been able to reach out to them under the rappel. I'm pretty sure the number might be double till now, because there is a lot of missing people. They shooting. They completely demolish towers and other whole building with its inhabitant. Let me just give another very simple examples. Many families in Gaza, like Shamallach family, Za'anin family, Shabat family, was completely wiped from the population registry. This is what is happening right now. This is regarding the numbering.
Were there specific targets, or they're part of the collateral damage?
I'm coming. Did you saw there is tens of thousands of video was spread all around the world. Anyone can prove that. Anyone saw of one of those videos, or two at least, is wearing a military uniform. Anyone saw that or can approve that those whom is killing is a freedom fighter people? Please, we should be completely aware of the Israeli propaganda. Israel is conducting a genocide against the Palestinian. It's a pure genocide. Conducting ethnic cleansing, so that they will use all the propaganda, atrocity propaganda, to justify what are they conducting right now. We should be completely care. We should completely take care of what is happening with the propaganda itself. This is the propaganda.
Yeah. Okay, but the same propaganda, some will say, is also aimed at targeting the Israeli, because they are also saying that what Hamas fighters are doing is also committing crimes against humanity. For instance, you are aware of the statement made by the US President Joe Biden, saying that you watch a video clip where Hamas fighters were beheading, a baby or so on and so forth.
Yes.
These are crimes against humanity.
For sure.
I don't know how.
If it happened, yes, of course.
How would you react to that?
Two things. The first woman or the first journalist was spread this this video or this false narrative called Nicola Zedik, something like this.
Yeah.
She broadcast, or she make a video, or make of course a report mentioning that not far away from her, there is approximately 40 bodies, something of babies that completely their head was cut. Then in Twitter, or one of it is the tweet, she back from her this narrative, and she mentioned in the Twitter, she mentioned that this is according to what the Israeli soldier told her. Also, yes, President Biden was mentioning that he watched her videos, but today, this early morning today, the White House was retracted from this from his claim, and mentioning that his claim was based upon or based on the Israeli media itself. So that, but again,
are you saying it's a wrong narrative?
Just to continue, we're gonna find a lot of videos in the upcoming days. The artificial technology or the artificial
intelligence.
The intelligent artificial intelligence is is on the hand of the Israeli company itself. So that it's so easy. Very soon to find some of those videos will spread widely on the social media showing the Palestinian conducting a war crime. But again, the principle is a principle. If anyone conducting a war crime, this is a war crime. We should not abide about that principle. To continue and to complete this story, very soon the Human Rights Council gonna call for a meeting, of course, and will establish a commission to inquiry to investigate this issue. We are ready as a Palestinian authority, as a Palestinian state, as a Palestinian government. Every Palestinian is ready. Just let Hamas, let Israel give those inquiries, those commissions, which is there is many commissions already there, and Israel will not and did not and will not allow any independent commission to come and to investigate those false accusation. Also, this is very important because Israel is preparing itself to continue the genocide, so that this narrative, this propaganda, this incitement is very necessary to pave the way for them, to give them the ability to conducting this genocide while the international community closes it.
Yeah, but are you exonerating the Hamas atrocities too, if any? For instance, this is a war situation. You don't expect that one side, commit crime and the other doesn't. Are you exonerating? Are you saying that the Hamas fighters are also not committing similar atrocities as claimed by the Israeli government?
This should be according to the investigation, to the human rights inquiry, to the human rights commissions that should came to investigate what is happening on the ground. This is very important. Again, the principle is the principle. No one can justify conducting a war crime, especially when it came to the children, and to the women. The question is, are me or you who gonna decide there is a war crime? This should be an independent inquiry commission should be created by the United Nations. And let us say that the African Union will going to send their mission to inquiry. We are open to this, and anyone conducted a war crime there is a place to jail them, and to prosecute them, which is the International Court of Justice.
Right. Okay. Now, looking at the situation in Gaza, because Gaza is right now under siege, a total siege, so to speak. With no water, with no light, with no essentials, and so on. And then there is also concern around the possibility of ground assault by Israeli forces. Any moment from now, perhaps, we could see such happen. How do you think this will exacerbate the whole situation?
Again, wording have a meaning. Gaza under siege since 16 years ago. But this siege since 16 years ago, they are, or the people there have the ability to breathe. Now they want them to completely not to breathe. Yes, it's under total siege now. No electricity, no internet, no communication. water, medicine supply, and all of these stuff, human aid, all of these stuff completely shut down, according to what the Israeli already declared. This is they declare it, which is, again, this is a war crime.
Yeah.
This is a pure war crime. The question is, yes, how the war will, or the Israeli aggression will evolve and will practice. Unfortunately, we are facing, the Palestinian people, a tremendous the number 17 around the army, who's number 17 with equipment and the army equipment. Not only this, unfortunately, the Western countries completely, totally supporting Israel in this war against the Palestinian people. United States of America, could you imagine? United States of America, because what is happening to a move and to start not only moving, to send one of it is great, one of it is large, or one of it is tremendous aircraft holder to the
yes,
to
you're talking about
logistics. Could you imagine against whom? 2.2 million Palestinian, whom is completely enclaved in 365 square kilometers.
Yeah, but then President Biden is also justifying perhaps the support or the intervention or, I mean, the logistics support and so on given to Israel. He did say that American citizens, about 255 or thereabout, were part of those killed in this conflict. I mean, targeted by Hamas, as he said. Didn't you think perhaps this is the reason why he had to intervene, even though in a situation like this, what is expected is, of course, efforts towards de-escalation of violence?
Another great question. Thank you so much, of course, for shed light on this very critical point. In America, there are 7 million Jews, the majority of them holding the Israeli citizen. In Israel itself, there is thousands of American citizens who is Jew and holding the Israeli citizen. The majority of them, all of them, of course, if not so to speak, is serving in the Israeli occupation army, which is illegal. Absolutely. When they serve in the Israeli occupation army in the occupied Palestinian territory, this is illegal. Another, just I would like to shed light on 3 examples. Baruch Goldstein. Baruch Goldstein is American citizen, Jewish American citizen, immigrated to Israel. He learned, born, and all of his life was in America. He immigrated to Israel for just one reason, to conduct a massacre against the Palestinians. And he succeeded, unfortunately, to do that in 1993, when, 93, 94, I'm not pretty sure. But he succeeded to conduct a massacre with an official Israeli army rifle. He carried it and slain 29 Palestinians, beside approximately 40 something was injured at that time. This is American citizen. Not only Baruch Goldstein. Meir Kahane, again, another American citizen. He was born in America, raised in America. All of his entire life was in America. Baruch Goldstein also one of the Jew at that time, whom is calling for a wide genocide against the Palestinians, who is calling for the transform of the Palestinian people from their historical land. Then this is 2 example of the American. But another example, which is very important. Another example, which is very important, please. Shireen Abu Akleh, Christian Palestinian, American citizen. You might know or hear about Shireen Abu Akleh. Less than 1 year, approximately one plus year ago, the Israeli sniper shoot and kill her. She is a Christian, Palestinian, American citizen. Those are the 3 examples. Okay. Why America did not mention anything about Shireen Abu Akleh?
Oh, okay. What you're trying to establish, if I understand,
I can give you many examples.
If I understand,
of Palestinian
what you're trying
citizens.
to establish is that American citizens in Israel are also actively involved in this uprising. Is that what you're saying?
You mean what?
Actively involved in these killings. Is that what you're saying? Now
the Americans, the Israeli or the Jewish American citizen who is immigrating to Israel, the majority of them, if he on the age to go to the army, he's serving in the Israeli army. Absolutely, it's one word. We used to meet them and on the checkpoints.
So, are you disputing
American serving? If it is you gonna take them as an American citizen, they are American citizens serving in the Israeli occupation army. Why you send them? Why you allow them to serve in the Israeli American army?
So, are you disputing what the U.S. President Joe Biden is saying, that 222 or 250, American citizens were killed in this? Are you saying that perhaps they've been part of? They are part of the Israeli army? Is that what you're saying?
The American is the Israeli American citizen, the dual American Israeli citizen, the Jewish is part of the Israeli society. This is an essential part of the Israeli society. So, and they are serving again in the Israeli army.
So in other words, if they are hit by any,
do you think that if anyone would like to engage in this type of war, he will distribute or differentiate between this is American citizen, I should not touch, or this is an Israeli, this is a no? It's as you rightly mentioned, it's a war. But the citizen again, there is a very dangerous issue here. As like he would like to say that we are the American is the above the all. We have the supremacy. We are the white supremacy. What about the other nationality? If there is another nationality whom is serving in the Israeli, whom is killed in Gaza, if there is some of those people, and we have a lot of American citizens still in Gaza, if some of them will be killed in Gaza by the Israeli army, using the American weapons, will he say something about this? I can give you many examples.
Well, yes. Let's look at another dimension to this conflict. There is fears, growing fears that this violence will de-escalate beyond even the region. Yeah, beyond the Palestinian territory. Now, the involvement of Hezbollah. Hezbollah was said to have fired, anti-tank missiles at Israeli army position, and then, killing some of the soldiers. And then, in response, the Israeli forces also fired, towards that direction. And now the concern is there's possibility of escalation of violence beyond the Palestinian territory. How would this also, compound the situation?
Again, the issue here, when we would like to start measuring the event, when Hezbollah or when X or Y shooting the Israeli, or we want to back to the history, we should, any principle or any problem solving theory saying that to solve any problem, you should go to the root of it. Don't take a look to the symptom. The symptom is nothing. What is happening today is the symptom. The root of the issue is the Israeli occupation. Back to your question, you can start the war itself, but no one, and this is factually speaking, no one know how it will be, how it will
how to control
when it will be end and how it will be evolved. It might touch the region, by the end it might touch everywhere, all around the world.
Okay, so you also see the possibility of it going beyond Palestine. And then looking at the key...
I did not, but I'm saying it's open.
Yeah, I understand.
And I hope that it will not go beyond.
Okay.
War is bad thing.
But looking at the involvement of some key actors in the global system, and how this conflict is also affecting other countries. For instance, today Syria is talking about targets, airstrikes hitting its airports in Aleppo and Damascus, for instance. This could also further aggravate the tension now, getting other countries involved and all of that. This might create another problem, especially at this moment, that other countries are also getting involved to mediate now to find, an end or a cessation of hostility.
Yes.
How are you looking at this?
Two things also in this regard. Syria was not just hit a few hours ago. Many years ago, the Israeli Air Force is hitting Syria every once in a while, and there is no. You cannot say that there is 1 week that the Israeli did not hit Syria. Also, part of the part of Syria, which is the Golan Heights, is still under the Israeli occupation. So that this is very important regarding evolving the issue. I hope it will not be evolved regarding the mediation. Yes, I hope that the Western country stop supporting and giving unlimited support, unconditional support to Israel, and start working as an honest mediator. Also, on the region, the Arab countries start involved in this issue.
We'll talk about some of
this atrocity.
Right. We'll talk about some of the efforts being made by this neighboring, Arab countries, and what that will make. I mean, what that means or would produce in the nearest future. But I think we have to take a short break. In case you're just joining us, the program is Daily Politics, and today we're looking at a situation update on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which is raging. It has gotten into 6th day now, and the the death toll is still rising. We're talking about 3,000 people killed on both sides of the crisis. And we've been interfacing with Abdullah Shawish, who is the Palestinian ambassador to Nigeria, giving us more insight to this conflict and what perhaps is needed to bring an end to it, if possible, or then have some cessation of hostility. We will take a break. When we return, the conversation continues. Stay with us.
It was never a consensus. We did all our best. You see, in politics, you give your contribution to the best of your ability.
If you want, I'll forward to you this statement. You go to this bank and verify.
But there are people who say not spending money is not about you.
I'm coming. Let me finish.
But there's so much to be done.
Let me finish. Now, you don't allow me to explain myself.
The recent developments shows abductions are now a factor of informants embedded in community.
It's not about the people of Katsina to say that, no, during my administration I was able to stop insecurity. No. It's about collective responsibility for all of us.
And what we should ask ourselves is not what has been seen, is the life better? Are there more people who are unemployed who are not become employed? Is the level of corruption has gone down? Is there inclusion? All those issues.
We're actually a gas country with associated oil. Our focus has always been on oil, that we have never paid significant attention to gas.
To do it effectively, we need to have honest conversation with ourselves. Government needs to come down from its higher horse and communicate with the people and build trust.
There must be a solution. We cannot continue this way. They must come back to the table and agree. So whose child will do deny education? All these children that sit for jam, they want to go to higher institutions.
But just a short while ago you were saying that why bring 10 children when you cannot cater for them? So why bring more universities when you cannot cater for the existing?
Thank you very much for staying with us on Daily Politics. And today we're looking at the situation update with regards to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. In case you're just joining us, you can also do well to follow us across all our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and you can also watch us live on YouTube. We have been talking with the Palestinian ambassador to Nigeria, Abdullah Shawish. And just before the break, you're talking about, the various dimensions to this conflict. You're particularly making reference to, some of the key international actors who are either supporting this conflict, unconditionally, as you said, and how that is exacerbating the whole problem. But I understand, there are also countries who are wading into this crisis. Take, for instance, Turkey is said to be holding negotiations for the release of civilian hostages held by Hamas. Can you give us an update on that? Is it something that is realizable?
There are around the world, you're gonna find two types of countries: honest mediator, likewise Egypt, Jordan, Turkish, and other, and the other part, which is I used to say, or I used to call them the occupation club, or the godfather of the occupation. When it came to the honest mediator, Egypt, for example, Jordan, and I'm pretty sure I'm involved in what's happening these days, because the shuttle diplomacy will not stop. President Abbas, I'm not pretty sure whether he back from Jordan right now or still he in Jordan. He did not stop speaking with the others, of course, through the phone to do something and to put an end to this atrocity. Yes, Turkish, Egypt, and Masr will be Egypt and Jordan will be heavily involved to moderate or to put a resolution, to put an end to this atrocity. And I'm pretty sure all of these countries, all of the three countries, is very honest and moderator. If you want to take me to the other countries, which is the occupation club, whom is giving Israel unlimited, unconditional support, or the godfather of the occupation, on top of them, United States of America, for sure. This should take us a bit back.
Yeah, but you've already established the connection, if you like, or the nexus, or the reason perhaps why United States is pretty much involved in this. You are very much aware of the fact that there are American citizens in Israel. That in fact, the politics around America, United States, revolves around the Israel lobby and what have you. There's significant ties between America and Israel, which you are very much aware of. Just like there are also so much concerns around the ties, if you like, or the diplomatic ties between Israel, Palestine, and perhaps Iran, looking at their support also to Hamas and the rest of them, which you cannot also wish away. So there are key allies in the global systems but then there are other countries like the United Kingdom, the Germany, and the rest of them, who have sent their solidarity messages and even sent envoys, physically on ground to be in solidarity with that. I think those are the ones you are talking about. Are you saying that they are not playing the role they're supposed to play as key international figures in terms of honest mediation?
Three main issues you already mentioned. First and foremost, the Americans have an interest because they have some American citizens hostage, and I pretty sure that I explained this issue. Tens of thousands of Americans carrying the Israeli citizen, likewise thousands of Israeli carrying which is dual citizen. This means, if we gonna go to what did you mention, this means that the unconditional, the unlimited support for Israel, the American unlimited and unconditional support came just as if it has happened 5 days ago, because some American was
said to have been killed.
The American unconditional, unlimited support to Israel long time ago, whether it is political support, and when you back to, for example, to the Security Council, America used the veto approximately 80 times during the whole entire life of the UN. More than half of it is to support Israel against the Palestinian cause, factually speaking. When it came to the military issue, I'm pretty sure you know that President Obama was announced $36 billion for the. Besides, every year there are $3 billion for the Israeli military support. So that this is the fact we should tackle it. Not to say that because some American was trapped in this atrocity. No, there is a history behind the unconditional and unlimited political and military support, the American support. Do you want me to go
but
to
how much? Yeah, but how much of support, if you like, the Iranian government is also providing to Hamas and the Palestinian government.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, I'm coming to, this is the first point. The second point you mentioned, because all the Western media is trying to corner us as a Palestinian with Iran, because Iran have its difficulties, or it is difficulties with the Western country in particular, especially in the Western country, of course. So that everyone would like to put us under the umbrella of Iran. Why you did not say that also the Saudi Arabia is supporting us? All the Arab countries supporting us. Many countries all around the world is supporting the Palestinian cause and paying attention to this cause.
In terms of solidarity.
Let me give you just a very tiny example. When it came in the United Nations itself, when it came to the right of self-determination, the Palestinian right of self-determination, this is a resolution, a yearly resolution in the United Nations. It is widely supported by the whole international community, except again, even part of the Israeli occupation club is supporting us in this. So that, no, it's not only Iran. A lot of countries, any country would like to align itself with the international law, will going to support us. Again, there is many countries still believe that they are above the international. The Western country, United States of America, you mentioned that they show solidarity with Israel. No. Again, they are giving Israel unlimited, unconditional support.
Okay, you're talking about, the United Nations, which ordinarily should be a neutral body, now trying to see, ensure that there is global peace. And then you also talked about the Palestinians' right, to live, or right for self-determination. I understand there has been efforts around implementing the two-state solution to this crisis, that is allowing Israel to live as an independent country, and then for Palestine to also live as an independent country with all the rights enjoyed. How has this been implemented? What are the obstacles? What are challenges undermining the implementation of this two-state solution?
Again, let me dig a bit on the issue of the self-determination, which is a principle. This is not created for this is a principle. This is how did Nigeria became a state,
an independent state.
Every state all around the United Nations itself was started by 51 countries or 51 states. Then the remaining part of which is now they are the number is reached 193 countries. All of them became a member state on the majority of them under the colonial occupation, occupation at that time. Now all of them became a member of the United Nations upon and based on the principle of self-determination. So when it came to the self-determination, this is a principle entrenched, deeply entrenched, and entrenched in the international law. So that, and this should be applied to us as the Palestinian people. Unfortunately, with the complete paralysis of the international community, they used to say, yes, you deserve the self-determination, but the implementation, when it came to the implementation, they are completely paralyzed. So
why is Israel opposed to it, for instance? Why is Israel opposed to this two-state solution, or allowing Palestinian people to live independently?
I think this question should be directed to the Israeli ambassador here. But again, Israel is an occupation. They know that the self-determination will give the Palestinians the chance to breathe. And this is something they cannot tolerate it. Self-determination should give us, by the end of the day, a two-state solution. They refuse this very legitimate solution, very legitimate resolution. In the two-state solution, we, the Palestinians, accepted to build our state in 22%, only 22% of our historical land. Israel refusing the implementation of the two-state solution. Israel refusing to come to the negotiation table to put an end to this atrocity. This is the point. But why? This is a question that should be replied or answered by the Israeli, not the Palestinians themselves. I have many things to say in that, but again, This is not.
Okay, so with all of that resistance, if you like, or inability or failure to implement this international resolution, and then what is happening in Gaza now, the determination by the Israeli government to wipe, as they put it, wipe out, the Gaza, for instance. How would that, that's a little part, a little portion of the entire territory that has been occupied, for instance.
Yes.
What will happen now in the event the Gaza Strip is totally annihilated?
We are at the very beginning, unfortunately. This is the 5th day of the Israeli open war, the new round of the Israeli open war against the Palestinian people. What will happen? I'm not pretty sure. My family there in Gaza, I'm not pretty sure. While I'm talking to you right now, I'm pretty sure. I'm not pretty sure what is happening to my to my mom. I'm not pretty sure whether she's alive or not.
Is it the communication has been cut off?
I totally disconnect with them since 2 days. So what happened? No one knows. I'm telling you something personal. Unfortunately, I did not know what is happening to my family there in Gaza. Period.
There is no media outreach. There's no media coverage of what is happening there. Is that what you're saying?
Water,
no communication,
no electricity, no fuel, nothing.
But I understand Egypt, for instance, is also intensifying talks with Israel and the United States to find, a corridor where aid supply, humanitarian corridor. How far has this gone in terms? Because looking at the current situation, there is mounting humanitarian needs, for instance, by those under siege. So how is this being implemented? Is it achievable?
I think, we use in the politics say that not all of the issue you can know it, even if you are part of this politics. There is a small group who is dealing with this issue. Likewise, President Abbas and his team, the Egyptian president, the Turkish president, the Israeli government. I'm pretty sure there is something under the ground. There is something for sure. No way.
I understand
to annihilate 2.2 million people. This is will be the total genocide all around the world in the modern history. There is something. I'm pretty sure something is happening, but when it will produce some real output, real result, I'm not pretty sure. I hope it will produce real results tonight because the people is dying. Some of the people, many of the people was dying because of the short of
supplies and all that. Okay, especially now that Ibn Feel on the generators, the emergency generators that are running is set to be getting out of
fuel.
Yes, out in stock. So that perhaps may further compound the whole situation.
Yes.
But then, talking about the humanitarian, providing a humanitarian corridor that would help reach out, to those in need. It is not the first time that Egypt, for instance, is mediating or providing such a relief to people. It's talking about the Rafah crossing where such aids can go through.
Yes.
There are several
they destroy it.
Yeah, there are several other
attack it and destroy it.
Corridors. So how can this supplies, the aids, reach the people there?
This is a logistic issue. Once they agree with the Israeli, of course, with the American, with the UNRWA, United Nations itself, and the Egyptian, it will be a matter of logistics. This is something the UNRWA, which is responsible about approximately around 70% of the Gaza population, because they are a refugee. UNRWA, I'm pretty sure, they are expert enough to take care of all of these. Beside that, cross and all of these, they will take care of these logistics issues.
Okay.
Just the issue, you need to, or the leaders should reach an agreement when and how it will
be implemented.
The logistic issue, the UNRWA is very expert.
Do you think cessation of hostility could be achieved? Because certainly there is, there must be a ceasefire for some of the supplies to get to the people in need. Do you foresee a possible cessation of hostilities, even if it is for 24 or 48 hours.
Killing of...
No, I mean,
you mean release?
I mean ceasefire, for instance,
yes.
between the two parties,
Yes.
between the two sides, to allow for this humanitarian aid, into Gaza. Do you see a possibility? Because the conflict is intensifying.
Yes.
The shellings, if you like, the fire, the bombardments are still taking place. Is it a possibility to have a window for a ceasefire that would allow for this?
I'm pretty sure it will happen. Sooner or later it will happen. This is very basic. Unless the Israeli want to really continue this genocide in one shot. They wanted to conduct this genocide, or right now is conducting a genocide, practicing a genocide against the Palestinian people. But it should be with in stages. I strongly believe, according to the previous experience, there is sometimes to cease fire, to give some, but again, no one knows what will happen. Israel is not listening to anyone.
Now, looking at the fundamental issues now, let's look at the root cause, because you, as you rightly mentioned, the Israeli occupation of the Palestinian land, for instance, or territories, is the point of contention, is the reason behind all of this crisis. Over the years, Israel keeps saying that, yes, it is recognizing the rights of the Palestinian people to live. They have their settlements where they are, even though they also, the settlements are side by side with those of the Israeli people. How is this?
Well, the Palestinian settlement is side by side, unfortunately, with us.
Yes. So how has this been implemented? Is it to say that the Palestinian people are not given the right, to build, on those on the Palestinian territory, or is it because there has been concern around also the occupied, territories like the West Bank? So how is this happening?
You ask more than one question in one question. Regarding the historical background, we can go very deep in the history, but let us go just 106 years ago when the United Kingdom issued, or the foreign minister at that time, called his name known by Balfour, issued his notorious declaration, which known as the Balfour Declaration. In this declaration, Balfour announced or promised the Jewish people to give them our homeland, Palestine, to build their state, or to build their state in our historical homeland, Palestine. United Kingdom helped by all means the Israeli gangs, the Jewish gangs at that time, to immigrate from Europe, to settle in the historical land of Palestine, to be trained, military trained, till we reach 1948, when those military gangs, and many names, they have many names, succeeded to defeat the Palestinian people, succeeded to uproot them from their homeland. My father was born in Berga. This is our town. This is our village before 1948. So that at that time, those Jewish gangs succeeded to ethnically cleanse the Palestinian people, and we became a refugee. Then they built their state, Israel, at only 78% of the historical land of Palestine. This just give me the chance to tell the other part of the
history. There's no much time. I know you're going historical, you're looking at the historical background and all of that. It's a very long story, to talk about how it all happens. The simple question was, is it a possibility for these two communities, if you like, or two people to live side by side? That was the question. And then I know about the issue of, yes, I was talking about the occupation now, the growing settlements of the Jewish settlement in
West Bank.
In West Bank. Yes. So how does this affect, how is this situated within this conflict?
Another two questions you
very
asked.
quickly.
Very quickly. Yes, there is a possibility to live side by side. We have nothing to say, or we have nothing against the Jewish people at all. One word, loud and clear. The Palestinians have nothing against the Jewish people, nothing against the Israeli themselves. We are struggling against the Israeli occupation. This is our fundamental right. So that, and we are struggling to build our state in 22% of our homeland. When it can be happened, if and only if the international community stand firm to apply the international law, stand firm to implement the many resolution that they already took it. When the international community stops treating Israel as the grumpy, spoily teenager. This is very important.
Okay. Thank you very much, Abdullah Shawish, the Palestinian ambassador to Nigeria, for your insights on this conflict. We do hope that in the nearest future, in the next couple of days or so, we'll see substantial decline in these killings, because they do no one good.
Thank you so much for your
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay, on behalf of the technical crew, this is where we come to the end of today's Daily Politic. And we do hope you enjoy every part of it. Also hope you find it informative and engaging. You can do well to follow us. You can also join us in the next edition of the program, especially the Friday edition, where you can have your views aired. That's going to be interactive. So join us on tomorrow's edition of the program, where you would be able to make your comments and observations, and of course on the critical topic that is going to be discussed. We appreciate your company all this while. Thank you very much for being with us. I'm Shafiur Suleiman saying bye-bye.